So the Ford Puma ST200 last edition. Now this is a model that I found out from a subscriber actually, and it's something that is available in France. I really want to talk about it because I think it's relevant to my UK audience as well about this car. And also sort of potentially, is there going to be some sort of like last special edition of the Puma ST for the UK? But I want to go through all the details that I know Ford have kind of shared about this Puma ST200 last edition. And yeah, let's go through this. So yeah, Ford Puma ST, obviously a very popular model, particularly in the UK as well. Now this last edition is based on the pre-facelift model. So as you can see here, it's pre-facelift. It's not the 2024 latest spec. And the idea of it is essentially it's a run out of the 1.5 litre EcoBoost engine, which is now basically no longer really in production. They're sort of moving back to the 1 litre hybrid. And I think it's quite cool, a nice little last addition to the car. And obviously you can see initially just from the pictures, I'll go through it. You can see it's in that Azura blue, which I love. It's got a few red sort of decals down the side. It has got the 1.5 litre engine as well, which is great to know. And a few little touches here and there, as you can just briefly see. But nothing too much to talk about. I like kind of that in the alloy wheel as well. That looks quite nice. But kind of why are they doing this basically? Well, it's marked the end of the Ford Puma ST with a manual bit gearbox, with the 200 brake horsepower, sort of 1.5 litre engine. That's now been replaced by the 1 litre, the 170 horsepower auto. So that's why it's kind of been made. But they're obviously sort of still showing how this kind of 1.5 is still a cool engine. It's, a lot, I've driven the 1.5. It's great to sort of drive around in and have some fun. Now, the last edition, now this is what's pretty special. That in terms of the name, actually, the ST200, I've actually had a Fiesta ST200 myself, actually. I've owned one. That was on the Mark 7. So, yeah, it's interesting they still keep the name of the ST200 kind of going. It's quite nice. To celebrate the farewell of the Ford Puma, they've got the last edition, limited to only 100 examples. So, I mean, that's pretty special. That is really limited. You're getting to that sort of figurage. That's pretty good and pretty special to kind of get your hands on if you can. In terms of the actual sort of like characteristics that you get, well, we'll read through exactly what they say. Designed on the basis of an urban SUV, the Ford Puma ST200 has been subject to modifications aimed at optimising the sportiness of its road behaviour, particularly in terms of the suspension, which has been reinforced, and the brakes, which are more powerful. I don't know if that's specific to the ST200 or the ST. Maybe it is. I mean, hey, you can tell me, do those brakes look bigger to you? Hard to tell, really. So I'm not too sure. And this is actually translated from French into English. So see what we can get out of this one. Further optimizations, they got the limited slip differential launch control, which is part of the performance pack as standard. Performance pack not around in any more STs. It's not on the 1 litre ST with the hybrid, which is a bit of a shame. You've got the driving modes, which are kind of shown from there, which is pretty cool. To the already very rich equipment of the ST200, the limited series last edition adds the black exterior pack, the complete safety pack, the performance pack, hands-free tailgate, alarm system, premium Azura blue metallic paint, which does look nice, specific to the ST finish. The whole thing is personalised by the addition of fine red stickers placed along the bottom of the doors, the rims, the front blade and the rear bumper. The latter recall the sporty character of the urban SUV, contrasting with the Azura blue colour, which I've noticed as well, which I think the colour is really, really nice. They don't make this colour now, seemingly. It seems to be more for their limited models. But you could have actually got it in the pre-facelift in the UK. So it's a colour to look out for, I would say. They've just sort of messed around with the colour a little bit too much, I think. It is really, really good. But now it's very, very much more limited. It's also got an anodized aluminium plate engraved 200 last editions. 200 last edition, even though there's 100 of them, adorned at the bottom of the central digital screen, a nod to the final production of the ST200. The interior of the Ford Puma ST200 houses magnificent AGR certified Ford Performance bucket seats. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. It's just the normal Ford Performance bucket seats. But is it the normal ones? Inspired by racing models, decorated with metallic grey stitching and aluminium pedals, recalling the sporty temperament of this model. I'll try and get a picture of that, actually, see if I can find that. And then it's got basically all the assistance as standard. So basically fully spec'd with everything. Available from your dealership at €39,250 if you're from France, you can kind of get this car. Yeah, main equipment specific is the ST badge, front and rear disc brakes, I guess they are bigger, red brake calipers, ST grille, ST body kit, heated windscreen, full LED lights, Ford Performance front door seals, reinforced suspension, ST vinyl gear shift knob, height adjustable AGR bucket seats, mixed fabrics, twin. Wow, there's lots of words there. ST front and rear floor mats, 19-inch wheels, and last edition specific equipment. Okay, so that kind of makes more sense now. So the brakes aren't any bigger. This is the specific stuff. Black exterior pack, comprehensive safety pack, performance pack, including limited slip diff, which basically means that the front end traction becomes a little bit better because it's got a natural, I believe it's a proper mechanical diff as well. It's not like an E diff. Hands-free tailgate, alarm, Azure Blue premium metallic paint. I'm interested about those bucket seats. I reckon that they're exactly the same as the old one. I don't think there's that much added to this car, if I'm honest to you. Let me have a quick dig and see what else I can find. Oh, wow, we have got more pictures. Well, you're seeing it as the first time as me. Is that one? Is that a new picture? Yeah, it is, the last edition. Oh, it's got, so that's what it's got. It's got the 200 last edition written there. It is pre-facelift because it hasn't got the new fancy model. I can't see the seats. That's a real shame. Let me do a bit of digging quickly. Right, I've had a further look. I can't find anything about the seats in terms of what's been changed on that, which is a bit of a shame. But from what I've seen as well, the actual value of this car is, with the fact that it's got all the options as standard, means it's just a no-brainer if you can get an allocation to it. So if you have the opportunity in your region to get the Puma ST200, I believe it's only available in France. That's what I believe. Let's see if I do a Control F and just type in France and see what it says. Yeah, I think that is the case. So there we go. Hey, you can contact this media contact if you want to try and get hold of one. This was actually released on the 15th of February 2024. Now, I do want to ask the question, should this come into the UK? Should there be a limited model? The fact that they've done sort of like a nice little send out is quite good. We did have the gold edition in the UK, so perhaps that is our version of it. It also had sort of like the gold decals and bits. But quite cool that Ford have given another little nod to the Puma. You know, yeah, it's going to be sad once all these cars are kind of gone, and also with the manual gearbox as well is quite a big thing. But I thought I wanted to share this off the back of a subscriber. If you didn't know about it, here it is. If you ever see one on the road, it's very rare, 1 of 100. And let me know your thoughts in the comments of just where you think Ford are going in the future and about these limited edition models, along with whether or not another one should come to the UK. The channel is a community channel, so please feel free to get involved. And yeah, I'll be happy to help you out. Like, share, subscribe, plenty more content to come.